What's up, guys? Alright, Alton here, doing another video, and this topic that I'm going to be addressing is the video. I don't know if you guys have seen it, going around on Facebook, and it is this video by Bill Nye, and he's discussing the topic of abortion, and he's trying to make a case for women who are pro-choice. I did a video about being pro-life, and this is basically on the heels of the whole thing for the right to life, or the Women's March for the right to life. And we had guys like Mike Pence, who is the Vice President of the United States, and he's speaking on this topic, and he supports the pro-life issue. So I guess in response to that, Bill Nye has made this video. So what we're going to do is that we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. We're going to chop it up, and we're going to dissect it. We're going to address every point that Bill Nye brings up, not only scientifically, but also biblically. So let's just go ahead. Let's get right into this video.
Eggs get fertilized, and by that I mean sperm get accepted by ova a lot. But that's not all you need. You have to attach to the uterine wall, the inside of a womb. But if you're going to hold that as a standard, that is to say, if you're going to say when an egg is fertilized, it's therefore has the same rights as an individual, then whom are you going to sue? Whom are you going to imprison? Every woman who's had a fertilized egg pass through her? Every guy whose sperm has fertilized an egg and then it didn't become a human? Have all these people failed you? It's just a reflection of a deep scientific lack of understanding. And you literally, or you apparently literally don't know what you're talking about.
Well, if that's true, let's go ahead and see what science has to say about this. I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at this clip that I took from the video Life is Best by Scott Klusendorf and the Wretched team over at Wretched Radio, Wretched TV. You can also check them out on YouTube. But let's go ahead and see what the Life is Best team has to say about what a fertilized egg actually is.
Before we can answer the question, can we kill the unborn, we have to answer the question, what is the unborn? That's the question at the center of the whole debate. If having an abortion is no different than clipping my fingernail or pulling my tooth, then I don't have a problem with it. But if abortion takes the life of a human being, that's a different matter altogether. So we've got to start with that question, what is the unborn? The science of embryology tells me without a doubt that from the very beginning, that is conception, the unborn is a living, distinct, whole human being. Scientifically, we know that the unborn are alive. They fit the definition of what an organism is. They undergo cellular reproduction, meaning they grow. They metabolize by turning food into energy. They respond to stimuli. The unborn is distinct. That is, it is a separate entity from its mother. It is not part of her body. The unborn has its own unique genetic code. It's different from moms and dads. That's why you hear people argue in ways to say the unborn has its own gender. It has its own blood type. Yes, all of these things are true because the unborn is distinct.
You wouldn't know how big a human egg was if it weren't for microscopes, if it weren't for scientists, medical researchers looking diligently. You wouldn't know the process. You wouldn't have that shot, the famous shot or shots where the sperm are bumping up against the egg. You wouldn't have that without science.
I mean, the argument isn't about whether or not we understand the process. I mean, it doesn't matter if we have microscopes and we have people studying these things. It still doesn't stop the process, because according to scientists, science is only the study of process. So just because we have microscopes and we have people that's studying on these topics doesn't mean that the process doesn't happen. I mean, it's been happening, and especially according to you scientists, it's been happening for millions and billions of years. There wasn't no microscopes back then. I mean, even when you take the biblical account, around the time of Adam and Eve, we didn't have microscopes and all of these things, but that didn't stop people from getting pregnant. So just because we now can see the process under the lens of a microscope doesn't mean that now somehow abortion should become illegal because now we know the process of it. I mean, that's really a really stupid strawman argument for him to try to make. And I mean, you know, I'm very disappointed that a guy such as him would make such a fallacious argument.
So then to claim that you know the next step when you obviously don't is trouble. Okay, let me do that again. Let me just pull back. It's hard not to get frustrated with this, everybody. And I know nobody likes abortion, okay? But you can't tell somebody what to do.
There's a lot of things that no one likes. I mean, no one likes murder, no one likes rape, no one likes pillaging, no one likes pedophilia. So just because we don't like it, and we're not supposed to tell somebody what to do because we simply don't like it. I mean, we tell people, you know, by law to not go out and murder and rape and molest small children. So just because we don't like it, we are obligated to tell people what to do and what not to do, especially if it's going to harm someone else. So again, that's another strawman argument that just because we don't like something we can't tell someone not to do. I mean, it's almost the same thing with prostitution. You know, a lot of people don't like prostitution, but they tell these women to not go out and be prostitutes and to do something with their own body. So, I mean, like I said, again, that's another strawman argument.
At some point, we have to respect the facts. Recommending or insisting on abstinence has been completely ineffective. Just being objective here. Closing abortion clinics, not giving women access to birth control has not been an effective way to lead to healthier societies.
Says who? I mean, you're trying to tell me that not having that many people in society or depopulating the society leads to a healthy society for who? And for what people? You mean to tell me that it's unhealthy for me as a man to go out and have a wife and to have children? That's unhealthy for society? Since when? I mean, I don't understand that. In fact, there was a study in Japan about people were kind of concerned about Japanese people not going out and marrying and having families. The government is actually concerned that a lot of Japanese people are not having more than maybe 1 or 2 children max. Some Japanese people are not having children at all. And they're concerned that that is going to depopulate the Japanese population. And they're very concerned about that. So they're trying to urge Japanese people to go out and get married and to have children. So if having children leads to an unhealthy society, but we have an example of a society that's not having children and they are concerned and they're calling that unhealthy. So which one is it? The society over here that is pro-life, that encourages people to go out and get married and have children, or the society over here that says we shouldn't have that many children? There's already too many people in our society anyway. But if you're a scientist, that should be an easy question to answer.
For a country with one of the world's lowest birth rates, a demographic disaster could be looming. RT's Alexei Arashevsky explains.
According to recent polls, more than 60% of unmarried men and near half of women aged 18 to 34 are not in relationships. Moreover, 45% of women and a quarter of men aged 16 to 24 were not interested in having sex at all. For the country with one of the world's lowest birth rates, this spells huge demographic trouble.
We used to have a very large population, but now we're rapidly shrinking. If things carry on as they are, Japan's population will be half of what it is now by the year 2050. That would be 70.8 million.
Abe says he'll tackle one of the biggest challenges for Japan's economy, the declining population. He's determined to stop it from falling below 100 million for the next half a century.
Japan's latest census confirmed the hard reality. The population is shrinking. Japan's population stood at 127.1 million, down 0.7% from 128.1 million in 2010. The 947,000 decline in the population was the first since 1920. The rate of population growth peaked in 1950 and has fallen continuously since 1975. By 2011, it had hit zero. Nearly a third of all Japanese were over 65 years old in 2015. By 2050, almost 40% will be older than 65. The population is forecast to fall to about 108 million by 2050 and to 87 million by 2060. Soon there will be 3 pensioners for every child under 15 and 1 in 6 people will be over 80. Its population will soon be falling by nearly 1 million people every year, and doomsters predict that sometime in the next century, the last Japanese person will die. Japan's economy is stagnated for most of the past 2 decades, partly because companies are reluctant to invest in a market they are convinced will continue to shrink.
I think we all know that. And I understand that you have deeply held beliefs, and and it really is ultimately out of respect for people, in this case, your perception of unborn people. I understand that. But I really encourage you to look at the facts. And I know people are now critical of the expression fact-based. But what's wrong with that?
Now, did you catch that? Okay. Now, he said unborn people. So he knows exactly what is the unborn. He knows exactly what the fertilized eggs are. He knows that they are unborn people. So he's not being like some of these other people who are saying that, oh, it's just a clump of cells, because science has proven that a fertilized egg is actually a person. That fetus that is inside of a mother's womb is a person. So he knows that these are people, but he is okay with the intentional killing of a person. So let's hear what Scott Klusendorf has to say about this issue. And also I'm going to go ahead and throw in a clip from Vodi Bakum speaking of this issue as well.
Would you want to comment, though, if you had a brochure that said this, an abortion requires an operation. It kills the life of a baby after it has begun. It is dangerous to your life and health. Needless to say, they don't have any of those brochures laying around Planned Parenthood waiting rooms anymore. And who can blame them? The science is clear. The unborn are distinct, living, whole human beings. The Bible is clear. Humans bear the image of God. And if we're honest, our intuitions are clear. We know what we're killing. We're killing a human being.
So, what do we do when we find something like this? This is an article. I won't read you the whole article, but I will tell you up front that I'm going to read extensively from this article from Salon.com earlier this year, earlier this year, from January. And the title is, So What If Abortion Ends Life? The subtitle, I believe that life starts at conception and it's never stopped me from being pro-choice. Now, I want you to listen to this, and you'll understand why I believe we need to read extensively from this as you listen to this woman's line of reasoning. Because basically, pro-lifers have drawn a line in the sand. Abortion stops a beating heart, abortion is murder, yada, yada, yada. And she's going, okay, we'll give that to you. And we still believe abortion ought to be legal.
So I just really encourage you to not tell women what to do and not pursue these laws that really are in nobody's best interest. Just really be objective about this. We have other problems to solve, everybody.
It's funny that he says that, because he says that these are in nobody's best interest. Well, first of all, it's in the interest of the unborn child, okay? It's in the interest of that child who's not going to have a chance at life. So that is the interest that we're fighting for. The ones who are voiceless, the ones who can't speak for themselves, as the Bible teaches us to be that voice, to fight for those who can't speak for themselves. In this case, which is the unborn child. And then he talks about having other problems to solve. Well, first of all, that's what we were trying to tell you guys before. We were trying to tell you liberals that there's so much going on in the world, but no, you guys wanted to take this abortion issue and you wanted to place it in people's face. You wanted to try to rub it into the face of especially the Christian people. You guys brought the fight to the table, okay? You guys started making this thing a whole public thing, and you've rubbed it into people's faces, and now people are starting to wake up and starting to see what abortion is, what it actually is actually the taking of an innocent, the intentional taking of an innocent life in the womb. And now people are seeing that, and now more and more people are against it. So you guys brought the fight to the forefront. We've always been fighting a fight. You guys are the ones who's just now starting to see the repercussions from actually bringing the fight to the forefront. Now you're seeing that people are actually getting more serious about the abortion topic, and a lot of people want to end it. It's because of you guys. Now this thing is, now abortion in this country is going to be greatly suppressed by the Trump administration, and and we hope that it's going to be suppressed within the next 4 years. You guys brought this fight to us. Christians have always stood on this topic. We've always had a firm stance on this topic. You liberals are the ones who came in. You atheists have come in. You feminists have come in and basically blew this whole thing out of proportion, trying to make it headline so you can attack the church personally. And now people are waking up, they're seeing what it is, and they don't want no parts of it.
Come on. Come on. Let's work together. My mother was a woman, just for example. They're everywhere.
Yeah, and if you are ending life in the womb, we're not going to have many women left. We're not going to have much of anyone left. So by you bringing up women, I mean, yeah, my mom is a woman, such as my grandmother's, my wife. My girls would grow up to be women. But if my grandmother would have had an abortion, then all of us wouldn't be here. So that's a very weak argument to use, man. Very weak argument. And working together, you want to work together? Well, let's work together now. End abortion. This is an either-or issue. There's no compromise on this. Either you're ending a life or you're creating a life. And you're either doing one out of the other. And if you're not doing any one of those, then you can't work together. I mean, I can't work with you if you're for abortion. And you can't work with me if I'm pro-life. But we, as Christians, we follow the Bible. We go by what God says, what God has ordained. God didn't ordain for us to take children from the womb. I mean, that's an abomination. God clearly lays that out through the Bible. I mean, I hate that I have to make videos like this, because you actually have people out here like Bill and I who go out and they have so much to say about this issue. And I mean, they're okay. They know exactly what they're doing. They know that it is a human being, that they're stopping the life of a human being, and they just don't care because they want to pass whatever agenda that it is. So you guys let me know what you think. Do you guys think that I'm totally out of line for making this video? Do you think that abortion should be legal? Or what about you guys who agree with me and think that abortion shouldn't be legal? Are there some of you who agree that abortion should not exist, but you're not a Christian? Let me know in the comment section below. So, and as always, you guys like, rate, comment, share, and you guys have a blessed day.